యాజ్ ఏ ఉమెన్ ఫస్ట్ ఇంటి నుంచే స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఏంటంటే నువ్వు ఇది చేయలేవు, నువ్వు ఇది చేయలేవు అది అనుకుంటూ అనుకుంటూ అన్నీ అచీవ్ చేసేసిన. బికాజ్ ఐ గాట్ మ్యారీడ్ అట్ ద ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ 17. సో ఐ డిడ్
బాల్య వివాహం.
ఎస్. సో ఐఎమ్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. అన్నీ చేసిన, ఫ్యాషన్ డిజైనింగ్ చేసినాను. సో ఐ హెల్ప్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఉమెన్ వీవర్స్. So that is my most important achievement, I feel like.
Glad I gave the mic to you.
Yes. So I donated వాళ్ళు ఏదైతే వీవ్ చేసినారో అదే సారీ వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళకి కట్టించి ఫోటో తీసుకున్నా.
Super.
Thank you so much.
Once again, clap hands
so
to you.
Thank you. I'm a textile designer.
You are a
textile designer.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is Konda Kavita Reddy here. Thank you.
Thank you. Go there. So someone from the behind. Jagdish, you pick up. अरे एक सेकेंड बिफोर यू गिव. इतना इंटरेस्टिंग क्यों लग रहा है मेरे को पता है? Every time when we organize an event, we are someone who's working, you know, in the backstage. But this time, men are working backstage, men are being the volunteers, men are taking the camera, and we are here to ask the questions, and another man is here to address our problems. So we should be glad for that. Oh, crazy! We broke everything, every rule. Nice. So, please, the men in the room, please give the mic.
Good morning, everyone. Wonderful to see everyone here. I lead cybersecurity in MNC from engineering perspective. So I'm cybersecurity consultant, evangelist, and I take care of digital well-being and digital security. In order to empower, motivate, and get more women into security, I have initiated a community called CyberSide, which helps to get more women into security, cyber psychology, cyber law, and cyber security. So if you need any help related to cyber security issues, people are losing money, and a lot of deep fake is happening, and the profiles are getting fake, people are asking for money, threatening anything. We are handling multiple cases with our community, and we also have my friend. She has a company in AI. She's going to talk once I'm done. So any kind of digital security and digital well-being, I would like to connect with any kind of help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That's one of the biggest problem that we have today, right or wrong? Cybersecurity is biggest problem, and deepfake video, all of us have seen what happened with Rashmika Mandana recently. So thank you so much for that. We will definitely come to you.
And my friend Lata wants to.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm so glad to be here today because yesterday also I was attending a Digital Women Award, and that was full of such wonderful women. And today also I see the room is so full. Congratulations to all of us. Okay, the second thing, you're answering your question. Okay, I don't want to take any empathy or sympathy, but I had an accident when I was 10 years old. And I grew up with sympathy saying, oh, ye kya karegi yaar, iska kya hoga? And my dad also had to run around spiritual gurus to know my future. But then I had a very strong support system, my father and mother. So I have done my graduation. I worked in MNCs, Amazon and Genpact, the giants in the market. And I got to work very closely with the top management team. I think that was my learning curve. So I really got an opportunity to learn leadership skills at a very young age.
Great.
So that helps me now to lead our startup, which is into AI and few more domains. So I am helping my husband from last 2 years into that.
Glad to know that.
Thank you.
Long way to go, ma'am.
The last thing, without knowing itself, I've coached a lot of people. So professionally now I've taken up life transformation coach and an executive coach domains. So I am helping a lot of women and kids, you know, to sort out their issues, which we generally don't talk to because we are we are scared of being judged in the society. So that's like a service mode, but I really want to go social with that because I was satisfied with the people I was addressing, but clients said, no, you have to go social and reach a lot of more people. So that's the reason. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There's no one better than you to empower them. Thank you. Okay. We'll have another question. One challenge that you faced with your husband or friend. क्यों? इधर आ जाओ. इधर आ जाओ. बोलो.
नहीं यार अच्छे बातें बोलेंगे ना भाई. I'll tell what.
Yes.
So for your previous question, like she was saying, kuch ukhade kya zindagi mein. So I also have my partner Himabindu there. So we represented Hyderabad in National Hackathon, like in 2018. 4 women, 95 corporates, which the competition was in NASCOM. So we're the first prize winners in the National Hackathon. So Himabindu there. Thank you.
Oh my God. Now I feel my profile is nowhere. Yes, we feel. But it's okay. I'm here to host you guys, so I have to be more energetic. Yes, ma'am.
Andarki Namaskaram. My name is Dr. Romana Sinha Sehgal, and I think it's very important that on a day wherein we have such energetic women in this crowd, first of all, a huge applause to all of us. I'm an engineer turned social entrepreneur. I've been in the IT and the entrepreneurial space for almost over 2 decades. And what brings me here and what has been a huge challenge and a different portfolio is that I'm an artist, I'm a writer, I'm a sculptor, I'm a poet, I'm a software engineer. Yes, a very, very proud social entrepreneur in the Telangana ecosystem. I'm a mentor for T-Hub. So, yes, my friend here very much insists that I must share this very interesting anecdote from my own life. A crucial challenge that I faced was it's very different and very difficult for somebody from the daily walk of life to walk up onto a stage and represent a country. I am a former Mrs. India Universe 2017, represented our country at the Mrs. Universe pageant 2018, won the first crown as a social entrepreneur for our country, India, right? So I really believe it's just about your resilience and perseverance that puts you apart. Beauty is innate, it's within. How you overcome it, how you challenge yourself, and how you put yourself forward for the betterment of the society is what makes me a very, very proud woman. And I'm very, very much honored to be amongst all the inspiring people present here. Hope we can exchange a great dialogue throughout the day and have a great conversation with a very, very empowering leader, yet awaited. So huge applause once again. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. So glad to hear you've not left any stone unturned. I mean, everything you've tried, what is that you didn't try?
Well, one unfulfilled thing was, yes, I have played nationals table tennis at the school and the university level. I wish I could continue that at a senior level, considering that I'm on the other end of the 40s right now. So I would love to do that too.
There's nothing that I can talk about. Yes. So we would like to take someone from the behind. Yes, Jagdish. What?
Not able to understand.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello everyone. Here, here. I'm. Oh, no, mine is a small question.
Okay, small question. You
Mine
have a
is a very
question.
small, perhaps unrelated question. Is there more time we can go have breakfast?
Yes. Okay.
I'm sure
That's
many
very,
of us were
no,
questioning inside.
no, it's very important question. Just give me a second, I'll tell you. By the time, ma'am, you can please continue.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Praveena Naidu Tota. I'm founder director, Women and Vision Council for Entrepreneurship. It's into empowering women towards entrepreneurship. Basically, I develop women entrepreneurs. I started with a very simple vision, homemakers to homepreneurs and entrepreneurs. I think so majority of us take a break and, take care of families. When we want to get back, we speak like, corporates talk about lateral entry. I don't think it works for us. We should be an entrepreneur. That's where it started. I was a BAP consultant. I was HR strategist, I was a builder by passion. Then all together I felt we should be entrepreneurs. So I'm a social entrepreneur as well. I have more than 3,000 women with me. And for me, anything under the sky can be an entrepreneurship and women can achieve it. So Samskriti, even we talk about Samskriti, even that can be an entrepreneurship. So I myself have a Gomaya Pushpam, which is into, making, they say cow dung products. So even there, even rural world we can touch. I have a passion for more than 500 women entrepreneurs getting into that. So I'm training them into that. And especially I work with even self-help groups. And so, yeah, really, self-help groups are getting help, but I think so homemakers and homepreneurs also need help. That's what we need to ask our KTR Garu. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Hello, I am Dr. Geeta Nagasri, surgical oncologist. I am the first lady surgical oncologist of Telangana state. Woo! And till then, surgical oncology is a male bastion. There's a very hostile environment those days to the ladies to enter. But many women, especially Muslim women, used to come in a late stages and ask, why you have come in this late stages? Means we don't want to show to men, they used to tell breast cancers and all. So I with passion, after 2 kids, I wrote an entrance and I got a 2nd rank in Kidwai, Bangalore, and I completed and I left 2 kids here in Hyderabad, went to Bangalore, came back, and I have as a first lady surgical oncologist, I started a foundation. We raise awareness for women's cancers, especially because women's cancers on the rise. 1 in 28 women is getting breast cancer. My appeal to all women here is, please get your mammographies done every year after 40s, and you encourage others as not only me, everybody here is a brand ambassador for the cause, because just women is just coming in a small lumps, they are coming. When we do it is they are in the 3rd stage, just slipping out of our hands. Feeling very bad for that. Whenever I go to women organization, I tell, nowadays we are not getting sari or dress for less than 3,000, am I right? Just forego one dress or sari per year and get this done. Not only that, women thinks that we won't get, others will get. There will be denial. But nothing, nobody is exception. Even we get every year mammography. Everybody has to get, and you encourage your parents, your friends, at least you get them. They tell, Amma, it is fear. Amma, bayam ellalante, evana diagnose aithe early ga diagnose avutundi. Manaku chetiki tagalalante, to be palpated, it should be at least the cherry size. We'll diagnose in a mustard seed size in mammography. So 100% survival will be there. Because daily we see educated women, IAS officers, even doctors coming in the late stages. By the time we do PET scan, it will be 3rd, 4th stage, just slipping out of our hands. Please get and encourage everybody, take your parents, your mother-in-laws, your aunts, everybody for one mammography and ultrasound per year. So many lives will be saved. Any symptoms, please don't ignore. Women are excelling in every field, neglecting their own health. Am I right? Please don't neglect any symptoms. Just go to doctor, just get your test done. If nothing is there, good. If anything is there, early diagnosis will be there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think the problem with us is more than awareness. We just take ourselves, as a second priority. We put our families as a first priority and say, "Pehle unka dekhbhal karenge, baad mein apna." But one thing that I learned from my mom is, first you eat so that you will be more healthy, you will be more active, you can take care of the entire family. I think all of us have to adapt to that. So, guys, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. KTR Garu. Please, we'll definitely do this after the event. Please, everyone, let's ask. Guys, one second. Let's be seated comfortably. We have good amount of time. Yes, sir. Once again. See, I cannot really become a bodyguard now. Please, guys, let's.
Women entrepreneur. Hi, better. What's your name?
Ladies, we are short on time. Please respect the time of the event and take your seats. We will have time later on to take pictures with KTR Garu again. Please take your seats. Thank you.
So please be seated, everyone. We'll start. So everyone, before KTR గారు రాగానే నన్ను పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు కదా, కొంచెం సేపు ఒక 2 minutes నాకు మళ్ళీ సేమ్ అటెన్షన్ కావాలి. సార్, sorry, don't mind me blocking you, sir. These people are never going to listen to me when you're here. So everyone, please listen to me. వింటున్నారా? సార్, నో అంట. ఏంటి సార్ ఇది? సరే, then I'll wrap up, don't worry. So before we continue with the event, this is the first time ever we are having an event only with women. So please put your hands together to introduce Rohini Rao Garu. She is the catalyst for this event. She has been in the US for 20 years. She's been in the US for 20 years. It's been 5 years she's in India. She's an entrepreneur and the catalyst for this event. So thank you so much, ma'am, for organizing such a beautiful event for us. I will give the mic to you.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for
Prabhastya, meaning Prachin Bharat Swasya. To motivate, my main motive is to preserve the ancient Indian health and the Indian culture. That is my startup idea and I want to look forward for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, one, interesting question for someone. सब लोग कुछ ना कुछ उखाड़े जिंदगी में, right or wrong? So, बहुत कुछ उखाड़े, especially women तो बहुत ज़्यादा उखाड़े, different roles में, different activities लेके बहुत. So I want someone to tell, maybe this ma'am here, something that that you've done and you feel I've achieved this in my life. పర్లేదు, ఇట్స్ ఓకే, కంగారు ఏం లేదు, మేమందరం ప్రశాంతం కూర్చొని వింటాం.
అందరికి ఈజీ, నాకు చాలా టఫ్ ఇచ్చినావు నువ్వు. యా, దే ఆర్ మెనీ థింగ్స్, అంటే చాలానే అచీవ్ చేశాను. బికాజ్ యాజ్ ఏ ఉమెన్ ఫస్ట్ ఇంటి నుంచే స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఏంటంటే నువ్వు ఇది చేయలేవు, నువ్వు ఇది చేయలేవు అని. అది అనుకుంటూ అనుకుంటూ అన్నీ అచీవ్ చేసేసిన. బికాజ్ ఐ గాట్ మ్యారీడ్ అట్ ద ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ 17. సో ఐ డిడ్
బాల్య వివాహం.
ఎస్. సో ఐఎమ్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. అన్నీ చేసిన, ఫ్యాషన్ డిజైనింగ్ చేసినాను. సో ఐ హెల్ప్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఉమెన్ వీవర్స్. So that is my most important achievement, I feel like.
Glad I gave the mic to you.
Yes. So I donated, వాళ్ళు ఏదైతే వీవ్ చేసినారో అదే సారీ వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళకి కట్టించి ఫోటో తీసుకున్నా.
Super.
Thank you so much.
Once again, clap hands to you. Thank
I'm
you
a
so
textile
much.
designer.
You are a
Textile designer.
nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
ma'am.
yeah. Thank you so much. This is Konda Kavita Reddy here. Thank you.
Thank you. Go there. So someone from the behind. Jagdish, you pick up. अरे एक सेकेंड बिफोर यू गिव, इतना इंटरेस्टिंग क्यों लग रहा है मेरे को पता है? Every time when we organize an event, we are someone who's working, you know, in the backstage. But this time, men are working backstage, men are being the volunteers, men are taking the camera, and we are here to ask the questions, and another man is here to address our problems. So we should be glad for that. Oh, crazy! We broke everything, every rule. Nice. So, please, the men in the room, please give the mic.
Good morning, everyone. Wonderful to see everyone here. I lead cybersecurity in MNC from engineering perspective. So I'm cybersecurity consultant, evangelist, and I take care of digital well-being and digital security. In order to empower, motivate, and get more women into security, I have initiated a community called CyberSide, which helps to get more women into security, cyber psychology, cyber law, and cyber security. So if you need any help related to cyber security issues, people are losing money, and a lot of deep fake is happening, and the profiles are getting fake, people are asking for money, threatening anything. We are handling multiple cases with our community. And
Sir, no anta. Ain't sir idi? Sir, then I'll wrap up, don't worry. So before we continue with the event, this is the first time ever we are having an event only with women. So please put your hands together to introduce Rohini Rao Garu. She is the catalyst for this event. She has been in the US for 20 years. She's been in the US for 20 years. It's been 5 years she's in India. She's an entrepreneur and the catalyst for this event. So thank you so much, ma'am, for organizing such a beautiful event for us. I will give the mic to you.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for coming here all the way on a Sunday morning, that too on the day of the World Cup, where India is playing. So it means a lot to us for the support. Like you said, I am Rohini Rao Chipyala, and I take great pleasure in welcoming you all here today. I am an entrepreneur, a mother, a daughter, a wife, a friend. You know, same roles that you all play every day. But Ivala, it's a very different day because we are all gathered here for once, first time ever in Telangana, where we're getting an opportunity to voice out our opinions, our ideas on a variety of issues, which we usually don't get a chance to do. Though we contribute to half of the society, we work very hard every day. We try to be perfectionists. Any roles we play, we try to play effectively. But there's hardly a chance when we have fair representation. Today, I have endeavored to give us all that opportunity with none other than Honorable Minister Shri K.T. Ramarao Garu. Please put your hands together to a man that needs no introduction. We know a lot about him, but one thing that is kind of an open secret is he's the man behind the conceptualization of We Hub. He has a history of encouraging women empowerment, of giving opportunities to women that have been lagging until now. So it's my huge pleasure to be on the same podium as him and welcome him to the stage. Please make this opportunity to ask your questions, ask away, and enjoy the moment. Thank you. Today, our moderator is Ms. Prema Garu. Thank you so much for kindly agreeing for a last-minute request and moderating this event for us. I'm sure it's going to be a very beautiful event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rohini Garu. I'm handovering the mic to you, Akka. Inka chinnapilla daggara nunchi peddolla daggariki chestunanu. So I am done signing off for today. By the way, I didn't introduce. I am Pranavi. So thank you.
Thank you, Pranavi and Rohini Garu. Thank you so much. And thanks a lot, KTR Garu. In your busy schedule, you gave time for us. Actually, మేము ఎప్పటి నుంచో అనుకుంటున్నాము విమెన్కి అంటే మేము కూర్చొని మా డైనింగ్ టేబుల్ దగ్గర మా ఇళ్లల్లో మా ఆఫీసుల్లో కూర్చొని ఏదో మాకు మేము మాట్లాడుకుంటూ గొణుక్కుంటూ ఫీల్ అవుకుంటూ ఇలా జరుగుతుంటుంది అనమాట. అంటే ఎప్పుడు మనం బయటకు వచ్చి అదే మన సమస్యలు కానీ మన ఇష్యూస్ కానీ మనం మాట్లాడుకోవాలి, మనం చెప్పుకోవాలి అన్న ఒక సందర్భం ఎప్పుడు రాలేదు. ఈరోజు మేము ఆ సందర్భం క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నాం. దానికి మీరు రావటం మాకు నిజంగా ఆనందంగా ఉంది. అయితే మొట్టమొదటిగా కేటీఆర్ గారు, మీరు ఒక పొలిటీషియన్, ఒక లీడరు, ఒక మంత్రి, ఇవన్నీ అందరికీ తెలుసు. కానీ మీరు ఆల్సో యువర్ అ గ్రాండ్ సన్, మీ నాన్నమ్మకి అమ్మమ్మకి, యువర్ సన్ టు యువర్ మదర్, యువర్ హస్బెండ్, యువర్ అ ఫాదర్, యువర్ అ బ్రదర్. ఇన్ని రోల్స్ మీరు ప్లే చేస్తున్నారు ఇంట్లో. ఐఎమ్ ష్యూర్ గ్రోయింగ్ అప్ నుంచి ఇప్పటి వరకు కూడా మీ పర్సనాలిటీ డెవలప్మెంట్లో కానీ, ఈరోజు మీరు ఈ స్థాయిలో ఉండటంలో కానీ, మీ ఐడియాలజీ ఫార్మేషన్లో కానీ, మీ వ్యక్తిత్వ వికాసంలో కానీ మీ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న ఆడవాళ్ళు ఎంతో కొంత రోల్ ప్లే చేసి ఉంటారని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. వాళ్ళ కాంట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఎంతవరకు ఉందండి?
Firstly, thank you. I sincerely thank all of you for showing up so early in the morning. How many non-Telugu speakers here? So guys who absolutely don't understand Telugu, right?
So we'll do a Tinglish, sir.
I think,
English
yeah,
and Telugu,
because you know,
combination cheddam.
Let's keep it Hyderabadi, so
yes,
that,
yes,
you know,
exactly.
it becomes English,
Yeah.
Hindi, Telugu,
Yes. No problem.
Urdu, everything, right? So, firstly, thank you. Thank you to all the ladies for joining us, and really appreciate all of you taking the time out. Meer adigindi vyaktitva vikasanlo annaru. I think every human being eventually, be it a man or a woman or whoever it is, I think end of the day, your life experiences really make you what you are. One of the strongest influences on me has been my mother, because without a question, my father, you know, was a super busy man. Yeah. And of course, you know, credit where it's due, he was, you know, in public life. So I would never understand back then as to why he was missing in action, why we couldn't see him for so many days. But now I'm in his role. I'm actually on the other side of the table now, so I can relate to what he must have gone through. Kani, nijanga kuda, you know, growing up with, and I didn't spend much time with my mother also. Nenu 10th class lopale, I was in 7 different schools, and I was in 4 or 5 different hostels. So atla, early childhood was very interesting and a toughening exercise. Etla ante aa rojullo, I'm quite old actually, so 47, 48. So aa rojullo, which is about 30-35 years ago, it was a different world. We didn't have as many amenities, as many things as the kids these days do. అయితే ఆ రోజుల్లో, అప్పుడున్న పరిస్థితుల్లో మా మదర్కి, తనకి మా నాన్నమ్మ, మా అమ్మ వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో, మా నాన్న వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో 9 మంది అక్క చెల్లెలు మా ఫాదర్కి. అండ్ యు నో ద సిట్యుయేషన్, యు నో, లైక్ టిపికల్ తెలుగు హౌస్ హోల్డ్ వేర్ కోడలు షుడ్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద అందరూ, మా వదినలు, మా వాళ్ళ మరదళ్ళు, మా అత్తలు, ప్లస్ మా ఫాదర్కి ఇంకో బ్రదర్ ఉన్నారు. సో పెద్ద ఫ్యామిలీ, వెరీ బిగ్ జాయింట్ ఫ్యామిలీ. సో ఇక తనకి అంత పని ఉన్నా, తనకి మొత్తం ఒకవైపు ఫ్యామిలీ ప్రెషర్ ఉన్నా, బట్ షీ మేడ్ షూర్ that she never showed me her weakness, her weak side. I think that's one of the most important messages that the kids get from us. There's a lot of incidental learning. అంటే కాకతాళీయంగా నేర్చుకునేది ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అంటే కూర్చోబెట్టి లెక్చర్ ఇచ్చినట్టు చెప్తే ఏ పిల్లోడు వినడు, ఏ పిల్ల వినదు. ఎందుకంటే దే ఆర్ నాట్ యూస్ టు adults preaching to them. If you sound too preachy, they'll basically ignore you and act like they're listening, but they won't. But how we behave, how we kind of perform in our day-to-day lives in spite of our pressures, in spite of our work pressures, in spite of our life pressures, in spite of all the existential realities. Iyanni undanga kuda, how do you manage to keep a balance? I think that is one of the most important things I've picked up from my mother. She's gone through a very tough kind of early life, because I think she was married at the age of 14. My father and mother were married when they were like 14 and 15. So you can imagine, Aputlo, I guess the act was not there, Sharada Act. So aa rojullo, when she came in, and I was in the world already when she was 20 or 21. So you can imagine being a parent at 20, 21, you're basically an adolescent and you're already a parent. So you can imagine what kind of experience she must have gone through. And nijanga kuda lot of credit to her, of course. And then my wife, we've been now married for 20 years almost, and she comes from a non-political family. Her father was a bureaucrat, he was a retired forest officer, and ammaiki papam non-political family ammayi ichi political family lo ante idoka circus మాది నిజంగా కూడా సర్కసే.
వెరీ ట్రూ.
అంటే రోజు ఇంట్లోకి వస్తే చూడాలి బయట ఎన్ని చెప్పులు ఉన్నాయని చూసి ఆ రోజు తెలుసు, ఓహో ఇంట్లో ఇంతమంది ఉన్నారు, సో మనం మెల్లిగా అటు నుంచి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి, ఇటు నుంచి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. అమ్మాయేమో షీజ్ పాపం ప్రైవసీ కోరుకునే అమ్మాయి. అట్లాంటి అమ్మాయికి ఈ పబ్లిక్ లైఫ్లో సడన్గా థ్రస్ట్ చేయడం అంటే ఇట్స్ ఎ హ్యూజ్ ఛాలెంజ్. అండ్ kudos to her for putting up with me. I think she continues to live with all the things all the nuisance that I bring into her life. So thanks to her for her patience and endeavor. And of course my sister, my daughter, I think my sister again is a fighter. She's a dynamic, possibly మా మొత్తం ఫ్యామిలీలోనే బాగా గట్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్న అమ్మాయి ఎవరు అంటే మా సిస్టర్ అని డౌట్ లేదు. మా అందరికంటే అగ్రెసివ్. దెన్ మై డాటర్ ఇస్ అ సోబరింగ్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్. షీఈ్ ఓన్లీ 14, బట్ షీ స్పీక్స్ లైక్ అ 40-year-old woman, and she's very wise. Like when she was like 5 or 6, she told me one day, she said, Dada, don't have a goal post. I said, why? She said, no, a goal post ki reach avute, then you'll relax. So never have a goal post. Then she told me much later, she's a very smart girl. She told me much later, about 3 or 4 years ago, she said, all the wise things I used to say those days, you remember, you keep referring to, I picked up all of them from Insta, right? I said, అది ఒరిజినల్ అనుకున్నానంటే కాదు అక్కడ ఇక్కడ చూసి నేను చెప్పిందే. సో పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే షీ's a very calming influence, and she's amazingly, she's a writer. She's already written a couple of books, a very young writer, and she's very creative, and she's one of those really calming influences in my life. And I think my life has changed quite a bit after her. And then of course I also interact with a number of women leaders.
Yes.
My day-to-day life, in my public life. Again, a lot of very, very strong women that I interact with. I can give you an example of one of the leaders in my constituency. Oka ammai, Sampurna ammai peru. 2014 election lo I was campaigning in Sirsila. So ఒక ఊరికి వెళ్ళాలి, ఒక ఊరు పేరు గజసింగవరం. అయితే కాంగ్రెస్ క్యాండిడేట్ ఊరు అది. సో కాంగ్రెస్ క్యాండిడేట్ సొంత ఊరు. సో స్ట్రాంగ్ హోల్డ్ ఆఫ్ ద కాంగ్రెస్ క్యాండిడేట్. ఆ ఊళ్ళోకి నన్ను రానివ్వము అని చెప్పి ఐ థింక్ దే ఎరెక్టెడ్ అ బ్యారియర్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్. ఐ సెడ్ ఫైన్, ఒక విలేజ్ పోతాం, లేకపోతే లేదు, విల్ విన్. సో ఐ వాజ్ గోయింగ్ అవే. దెన్ దిస్ గర్ల్, షీఈ్ అ లీడర్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ పార్టీ, షీ బిలాంగ్స్ టు దట్ విలేజ్. ఐ డెంట్ నో హర్ టిల్ దెన్. అప్పుడు దాకా నాకు పెద్దగా తెలియదు. She comes across, like she literally stops my car. She literally stops my car and she says, how can you not campaign in my village? I am going to take you in. Mundundi, she took me there. She made sure I campaigned. And then I was so impressed with her. As soon as I got an opportunity, because she's somebody I didn't know very well of. ఎప్పుడైతే నాకు ఛాన్స్ దొరికిందో నేను మళ్ళీ గవర్నమెంట్లోకి రాగానే, I made her my agriculture market committee chairman the very first instance I got. So some very, very strong women leaders, and I also interact with number of course, other bureaucrats. Ippudu mana Chief Secretary garu kuda, she's a women officer and she's a very, very strong lady, Shanti Kumari garu. And then I can also tell you that I work with number of other women. If we have Deepthi garu naru, she's somebody I work with closely. My office, I have Kakatiya, who's my OSD, again a very strong lady. I can go on. There's a number of people. But most importantly, what I also look up to, in fact, incidentally, Hyderabad నుంచి వచ్చిన మీరు స్పోర్టింగ్ సూపర్ స్టార్స్ అందరూ చూస్తే అందరూ విమెనే. సానియా, సైనా, సింధు, నౌ నిజామాబాద్ నుంచి నిఖత్, జరీన్, తర్వాత యూ కెన్ సీ గుతా జ్వాలా, అండ్ దెన్ సో మెనీ అదర్స్, ఈషా సింగ్ నౌ, Naina Jaiswal. So all of these young women who have done exceedingly well in individual sports, I keep running into them, every so often, ikkada with different events we meet each other, and I'm incredibly impressed with their work ethic. There's so much to learn from these young ladies, the way they balance their lives in a professional sport, giving time there and also giving time to the family, especially if they are married and have children, balancing that out as well. So all of these amazing things. And of course, I also have to mention Mahima Datla, Suchitra Ella, again, two women who were talked about quite often during entire COVID episode, Biological Evans and Bharat Biotech. Again, very strong women, interact very closely quite often. So I interact with number of women, and of course I interact with a lot of young women who are students. When I go to IT hubs and different districts, I interact with a lot of them as well. Some strong, resilient, resilience is what I really, kind of pick up from each of these young women and women. And more importantly, I think one trait that I would like to imbibe, if possible, that is the mental fortitude and the mental strength of women. That unfortunately men do not have. I think we break easy. We break easy. You guys don't. You're stronger mentally, and I do hope that we can pick up that. Especially in elections, we need that. So hopefully, I'll also get to pick up a few of those.
Yeah. So KTR garu, మనం వార్మప్ సెషన్ అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం సీరియస్ సెషన్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోదాము. ఓకే సార్, 9.5 years ఆఫ్ మీ గవర్నమెంట్లో ఎన్నో స్కీమ్స్, ఎన్నో డెవలప్మెంటల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ ఎన్నో తీసుకొచ్చారు. అందులో విమెన్ ఇంక్లూజివిటీ అనేది ఏమన్నా ఒక అంశం ఉంటే అది ఏంటి అని మీరు అనుకుంటున్నారు? ఈ 9.5 yearsలో టు వాట్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ యూ సా దట్ విమెన్ రియలీ గ్రూ ఎక్స్పోనెన్షియల్లీ?
The one question I think women need to ask themselves, do you want to be exclusive or inclusive?
Inclusive.
Kadu. Yeah, both is a great answer. Kadu. No, because when it comes to programs and when it comes to actionable agenda, if you ask me what are the things that you've done exclusively for women, there's a bunch of things that we do. But if it's the larger inclusivity part and what you've done for people at large, there's again a huge list of things that we have done. So I think the question is,
అంటే మీరు చేసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ స్కీమ్స్లో అందరికీ చేసినప్పటికీ కూడా విమెన్ ఇంక్లూజివ్నెస్ ఎక్కువ శాతం ఉన్న ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కానీ స్కీమ్స్ కానీ డెవలప్మెంటల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ కానీ ఏమిటి?
చాలా ఉన్నాయి. అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్, prior to 2014, 2014 కంటే ముందు, you used to, I'm not saying they've completely disappeared, I would be lying if I did that. You used to read a lot of these horror stories, like Devara Kondalo అప్పుడే పుట్టిన బిడ్డను అమ్ముకున్నారు, లేదా ఓల్డ్ సిటీలో ఒక అమ్మాయి చిన్న పిల్లకి ఒక ముసలి అరబ్ షేక్తో పెళ్లి చేశారు. ఇట్లాంటి కొన్ని స్టోరీస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు యూ రియలీ, నో మ్యాటర్, యూ మే నాట్ హవ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్డ్ ఇట్ పర్సనలీ, యూ మే నాట్ ఈవెన్ బి అ ఉమెన్ or a girl, but you'd be shattered. You'd be looking at it and saying on a human level, you'd be like, what is wrong with our society? How can this be, right? And when you see stories like how women have to feed their children, knowing fully well that the water is not potable, the water is actually causing fluorosis, still you have to give the same water because there's no choice, like in Nalgonda. Iyanni chusinappudu at a very human level, at a very primordial human being level, homo sapien level, you feel very insulted. You feel, as a government, can you not get these basics sorted, right? So one of the most important things that we have done, if you ask me, is providing potable drinking water connection to each and every home. Unfortunately, in a country like India, it's a shame that 75 years after independence, a government has to sit and claim that humne pani pilaya, इसलिए हमने कुछ चप्पड़ फाड़ के कुछ काम किया. That's a basic thing that somebody has to have done long back. But nobody did it. But we became the first state in India to have given a portable drinking water connection to each and every one of our 10 million homes. And then that inspired Prime Minister and his government to take up Har Ghar Jal campaign, which is a good thing. And these are the things I think need to be addressed, basics. The second thing is, Devarakondalo ఈ అమ్మకాలు ఈ చిన్నపిల్లలు అమ్ముకోవడం ఏంటి అసలు వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ అంటే దెన్ వీ రియలైజ్ దట్ దెర్ ఆర్ డీప్ రూటెడ్ ఇష్యూస్ లైక్ బేసిక్ సబ్సిస్టెన్స్ ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, వాళ్ళకి అసలు లైవ్లీహుడ్ ఛాలెంజ్ ఉంది కాబట్టి విధి లేని పరిస్థితుల్లో చేస్తున్నారు. అండ్ దెన్ ద థర్డ్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ ఇక్కడ సేమ్ లాజిక్ అప్లైస్ హియర్. ఎవరో ఒక అమ్మాయిని ముసలోడికి ఇచ్చి ఎందుకు పెళ్లి చేస్తున్నారు అంటే సేమ్ థింగ్ అగైన్ ద మల్టిపుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ ద పేరెంట్స్ కాంట్ ఫెండ్ ఫర్ దేర్ education or basic needs, so therefore they're getting rid of them. So what we have done, for example, again we launched 200 plus schools for minority 100 plus schools for minority young women. Initially Muslim minority and Christian minority pillal kosam mem schools launch chestunappudu some people have told us that this is not going to work. They said, no, Muslim young women don't come out and stay in residential schools. Ye to nahi chalega. But KCR garu didn't listen. He said, no, it's not the case. Everybody wants education. Everybody wants basics to be taken care. You're wrong. And he went ahead with conviction. Today, I'm happy to report to you all that more than 204 schools have been launched for Muslim minorities, in which we have nearly 1,15,000 students, out of which 57,000 are young women. And all of them are getting quality education. On each child, we spend 1,20,000 rupees. We take care of all their basic needs, books, their clothing, their basic needs, etc., etc. Everything is taken care of. On each child, we spend 10,000 rupees per month. What this has done is now these young women are cracking NEET, they're cracking IITs, NITs, IIMs. I think you train a woman, young women especially, I think you're literally training a generation of young women who can literally become the beacons of change and the beacons of hope. Now this is something that is truly, if you ask me, that's a true achievement. The other thing is, నిజంగా కూడా తెలంగాణలో హెల్త్ కేర్ వాజ్ బ్యాడ్. ఒకప్పుడు సినిమాల్లో పాటలు రాశారు, నేను రాను బిడ్డో సర్కారు దవాఖానకు, అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ హాస్పిటల్ పోతే చంపేస్తారు, దే ఆర్ బ్యాడ్ అని. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ దే హవ్ బికమ్ అపోలో హాస్పిటల్స్ ఆర్ యశోదా హాస్పిటల్స్ yet. I'm not going to make tall claims, but significant improvement. Today, our institutional deliveries in government institutions have increased from 31% to 61%. Manaku 60% datam. 60% ante first class in case though there are students here. 60 is first class, 70 is distinction. So our goal is to go beyond distinction. And then infant mortality has come down in a big way. Maternal mortality has come down because of these institutional practices. More importantly, hysterectomies have come down. There was this, I'm not going to blame doctors or anybody in particular, but there was a trend, a pattern, where we saw that because of, even smaller inconvenience, hysterectomies were being performed recklessly. Even that has come down. So, women's health care anandi, education anandi, and participation anandi. I think these are some inclusive things that we've done at large, but there's still a long way to go.
I still remember, KTR garu, 10 years back, when I was in the mainstream media, నేను కవరేజ్ చేయడానికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు చాలా ట్రామాటిక్గా ఉండేది, చాలా బాధాకరంగా ఉండేది. చిన్న పిల్లలు తల్లులు అయిపోయి చనిపోయేవాళ్ళు, పిల్లలు చనిపోయేవాళ్ళు, మెటర్నల్ మోర్టాలిటీ, ఇన్ఫెంట్ మోర్టాలిటీ, అండ్ ఆల్సో మీరు అన్నట్టు షేక్స్కి, దుబాయ్ షేక్లకి వాళ్ళకి వీళ్ళకి పెళ్ళిళ్ళు చేసేయటం చిన్న వయసులో. ఐ థింక్ ఒక 10 ఏళ్ళుగా అది కనిపించట్లేదు. దానికి కారణాలు మీరు అన్నట్టు మీరు పెట్టిన స్కీమ్స్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, ఆరోగ్య లక్ష్మి, కేసీఆర్ కిట్స్, సో మెనీ థింగ్స్. బట్ ఒక విషయం చెప్పండి, 2014లో, 2018లో, ఇప్పుడు 2023లో మీరు ఏవైతే మ్యాండేట్ పెట్టారో, అంటే మీరు మేనిఫెస్టోలో ఇంక్లూడ్ చేసిన విమెన్ ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ స్కీమ్స్ అనుకుందాం కొన్ని, అంటే ఓన్లీ ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ విమెన్ కోసం, అలాంటివి ఏమైనా పెట్టుంటే ఎంతవరకు వాటిని మీరు సాధించగలిగారు, ఎన్ని ఇంకా మిగిలిపోయినాయి, ఇంకా చేయాల్సినవి ఎంత ఉన్నాయి, అంటే ఒకసారి మీరు ఆలోచిస్తే what do you have to say about this?
See, the common women, ante oka samanya mahila Telanganalo, Andhralo, rendu chotla kuda they're very strongly federated. Self help groups evaithe unnayo. So I worked briefly as Panchayati Raj Minister. I continue to work as Municipal Minister. So in rendu departments lo we have lakhs of women who are federated into self help groups. each of these self-help groups is truly creating valuable assets. I don't know if you guys know this story. There is an institution in government called as Srinidhi. Srinidhi anundi. Nijanga kuda cheptunnanu nenu. When I was working as rural development minister, when I studied Srinidhi and its success, I told those guys, Vidyasagar Reddy and MD untaru. Nenu ayaniki cheppindi okate, I said, this is a Harvard business case study worth, scenario. Dini dayachesi tappakunda manam showcase cheyali. We talk about, Bangladesh and how Muhammad Yunus Garu created that micro bank, the Grameen Bank. But I think what's truly worth emulating and what's truly inspiring is Srinidhi. Srinidhi is truly world class. For those of you who do not know, it's basically an institution created by the government in association with these self-help groups. And their disbursal now runs into thousands of crores of rupees. It's basically an NBFC. And their repayment is 99.9% and more, which is truly incredible. We keep hearing of horror stories about how some people have run away to London and elsewhere, after evading banks and, making them bankrupt. But these women in Telangana and Andhra mostly, mottam meer chuste, their repayment is truly 99.9%, and their disbursal again and the kind of assets they are creating and the kind of economic empowerment that's happening at the grassroots level is incredible. Mano government em chestundi indulo ante, we do interest subvention. We do what is called as vaddi leni runalu. So complete interest is taken care of by the government. So basically they get an interest-free loan. And the intent is that as a group, if there are 10 to 15 women as a group, వాళ్ళు ఆ డబ్బులతో interest-free loanతో వాళ్ళు ఒక asset create చేయాలి, income create చేయాలి, wealth create చేయాలి, చేసి then they have to repay to the bank in a specified time period. Incredible stories. అంటే కొన్ని చెప్తే మీరు నమ్మరు. Grassroots level లో women are running some supermarkets as a group. Women are running some small businesses in the rural hinterland. And they're also producing some truly useful products in the day-to-day life. Like food adulteration ekwa. Situation overcome kadanki, they're running some mini food processing units. I have personally seen so many such examples where some truly world-class products have come. And then there are some which are truly focused on women-related issues, like menstruation-related issues and a lot of other things.
But ante meeru anukunnavi implement cheyalenivi.
I'll come to that in a minute. And see, I was just reflecting on this.
Yeah.
There's this young woman who just walked up to me. Her name is Amina. I don't know where Amina is. Amina Mahmood. She wrote a book and she wanted to gift it to me. And she says, "Mind your mirror." I was just looking at her name and thinking of, there was an Amina, I don't know, you know this story.
Yes,
there was an Amina in Hyderabad who got married to an Arab sheikh, and that became worldwide news. And now we have an Amina who's writing books and confidently walking up to a minister. So that in itself, I think is a great story. But going back to the manifesto question, yes, we've done some things, we've done a few things, but there's a lot more that needs to be done, without a question. I'm not trying to evade an answer. See, for instance, we did not promise a women's exclusive university in the manifesto, but we've delivered it. We did not promise a Kalyan Lakshmi and a Shadi Mubarak in our manifesto, but we delivered it. So manifesto is basically a guiding principle, a book which basically guides you for governance in the next 5 years. But government always has in it to go beyond and above a manifesto, and we've done things like Amma Vodi. I don't know how many of you are aware of Amma Vodi. Amma Vodi ane concept enti ante, literally డోర్ స్టెప్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఒక ప్రెగ్నెంట్ లేడీని పికప్ చేసుకుని చెకప్కి తీసుకొచ్చి ఆమెకు కావాల్సిన న్యూట్రియంట్స్ అన్నీ ఇచ్చి మళ్ళీ ఇంటి దగ్గర దిగబెట్టి మళ్ళీ తర్వాత డెలివరీకి కూడా ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ డెలివరీకి పికింగ్ అప్ ఫ్రమ్ ద డోర్ స్టెప్ అండ్ దెన్ డ్రాపింగ్ హర్ అగైన్ బ్యాక్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద చైల్డ్ ఎట్ హర్ డోర్ స్టెప్. This is the most humane thing that I think my government has done. As a result, institutional deliveries have increased, infant mortality has reduced, maternal mortality also has reduced. And most importantly, young women are getting, the much needed, nutritious food. And the other thing I also will tell you, I'm working on something which is interesting and quite exciting. I was told by this company when I'm an industries minister, so I meet a lot of industrialists and companies. So Bharat Serum anukunta company peru. They had come to meet me for their expansion, etc. So we were generally chatting. I వచ్చిన ఆయన అడిగాను నేను, so what do you guys do? What is your product? He said, we are a women's healthcare company. I said, what exactly do you do in women's healthcare? Because it's a large subject. They said, we manufacture one of the vaccines, which is very, very unique and important, which is not in India. And we just export it. I said, what do you mean export it? He said, any women with a negative blood group, like B negative, O negative, A negative, rhesus negative blood group, has a 14% more chance of a lot of loss of blood, and sometimes, unfortunately, mortality rates are also quite high during pregnancy. They said this can be avoided if we give this vaccine when they turn adolescent, 14 or 15. So now I'm trying to work with them and see how Telangana can become the first state in India who can start doing this vaccine. Even if you save a few lives, I think it's useful. So these are the things. I mean, governance is not just about, being static. You have to be dynamic. You have to understand what the world is doing, what are the best practices across the world, how can you pick them up, and how can you imbibe and do some of those here.
So KTR garu నాది ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఒకటి ఉందండి. అదేంటంటే అబౌట్ మీరు ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏదైతే స్కీమ్స్ డెవలప్మెంటల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ చెకప్ చేశారో ఎక్కువ దే ఆర్ ఆల్ రూరల్ సెంట్రిక్, అంటే రూరల్ విమెన్, అన్ఎడ్యుకేటెడ్, ఇల్లిటరేట్, పువర్ విమెన్ కోసం ఎక్కువగా మీరు అలాంటి పథకాలు తీసుకొచ్చారు. అండ్ రియలీ అప్రిషియేట్ దట్ బికాస్ వాళ్ళకి ఎక్కువ అవసరం. కానీ మిడిల్ క్లాస్, అబవ్ మిడిల్ క్లాస్, ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్న ఎంతోమంది విమెన్, మాకు కూడా చాలా చాలా అంటే కన్సర్న్స్ ఉన్నాయి, విచ్ వీ వాంటెడ్ టు బీ ఇంక్లూడెడ్, ఇంక్లూజివ్ స్కీమ్స్లో మమ్మల్ని కూడా చేర్చుకోవాలని మా కోరిక, ఆశ. వాట్ యు ఆల్ సే? ఎస్. సో మీరు వీహబ్ లాంటిది ఒకటి తీసుకొచ్చారు, ఐ అప్రిషియేట్. బట్ వాట్ ఎల్స్ కెన్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ డూ ఫర్ విమెన్ లైక్ అస్?
There's plenty to do. In fact, not just VHub and the 4 exclusive women industrial parks that we have set up are for women. And every industrial park, by the way, has, and 4 industrial parks ekkadunnayi, one in Sultanpur, one in Nandigam, one in, I think, Koheda. There's a 4th one as well, which I can't recall right now. But there are 4 dedicated industrial women parks, which are already up and running. And then in each and every industrial park in Telangana, we have 10% of the plots earmarked for women entrepreneurs. Likewise, VHub is a first of its kind initiative in the country, and it's only one of its kind, in fact, in the country now, where women entrepreneurs basically are the leaders. They also, of course, employ men and also others. So there's some things we've done, but on the whole, you're right. Rural women ki ivala మీరు చూస్తే basic subsistence కోసం చాలా చేస్తున్నాము. ఒంటరి మహిళల పెన్షన్లు అంటే, లేకపోతే ఇంకా ఇతరత్ర బీడీ కార్మికులు అంటే, మహిళా హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్స్ అంటే, వాళ్ళకి చేసేది వాళ్ళకి చేస్తున్నాము. కానీ టౌన్స్ కాడికి వచ్చేసరికి యువర్ రైట్, ఎస్పెషలీ మిడిల్ క్లాస్ అండ్ అప్పర్ మిడిల్ క్లాస్, దే ఫీల్ దట్ వీఆర్ ట్యాక్స్ పేయర్స్, ట్యాక్స్లు కడుతున్నాము, మాకేమొస్తుంది గవర్నమెంట్. వన్ ఆఫ్ ద థింగ్స్ వీ ఆల్సో డూ, నాట్ జస్ట్ ఫర్ విమెన్ ఆంటర్ప్రినర్స్ బట్ women employees at large also, is the basics, making sure like to keeping our city safe, making our city safe, and also promoting. In fact, one of the things I'm going to propose, and one of the things I'm going to get done next term when we are elected back, is to ensure that women also avail loans at a much lower cost. I mean, especially the SMEs, small and medium entrepreneurs. The big guys of course can help themselves, but I think women entrepreneurs especially need a lot of that help. Manufacturing lo, service sector lo kuda, that's one of the things I'm proposing to do next term. And if you guys want, especially I did a BNI session the other day here, అందులో కూడా చెప్పాను, నేను మళ్ళీ చెప్తున్నాను, if you guys want to collaborate with us, we are open to ideas. This is a participatory government. You guys want to come work with us, tell us what you exactly want. Tell us these are the things, and I'm also looking forward, of course, to hearing from you. What are the things that you would love to see in Hyderabad, in Telangana, that are not there elsewhere in the country? वो हमें सुनने को मिले, देखने को मिले, तो उससे भी हम लोग तो कुछ प्लान कर सकते हैं. The third thing I'll tell you, which I think is far more important as a citizen of Hyderabad, there are basically 3 large hospitals in Hyderabad. Now we are adding 7 more, and we are doing more Basti Dawakhanas, and we are going to make sure that each of these institutions, women-focused, day will be celebrated. Arogya Mahila is the program. We are going to focus on women's health and make sure that they get the much-needed attention. And most importantly, we've been doing, a lot of safety things, especially cyber safety and also physical safety of young women and women at large. What we've been doing is Bharosa centers. What we've also been doing is she teams. We've also launched apps like Hawkeye. But I think a lot more needs to be done. So I'm open to ideas, open to suggestions, and see how we can constructively take this discussion forward.
సో సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ, మీరు ఇందాక ఇప్పుడు షీ టీమ్స్ భరోసా పాయింట్ తీసుకొచ్చారు కాబట్టి దాని రిలేటెడ్ పాయింట్ సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ గురించి ఒక మాట్లాడదామని. ఈ మధ్య మీరు రష్మిక మందన్న డీప్ ఫేక్ వీడియో మీద మీరు స్పందించారు, దాని గురించి మాట్లాడారు, స్ట్రింజెంట్ రూల్స్ గవర్నమెంట్ టేకప్ చేయాలని కూడా చెప్పారు. కానీ ఒక విషయం చెప్పండి సార్,
we are also victims of deep fake
exactly.
videos. Not only women, we are also politicians also. Things that we didn't say also we get attributed. Now my opposition is also using deep fake to kind of.
బట్ ఒక పాయింట్ సార్, ఒక కేటీఆర్ గారు కానీ ఒక రష్మిక కానీ ఇంకెవరన్నా కానీ మీరందరూ చాలా ఫేమస్ పాపులర్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్షియల్ పీపుల్.
రష్మిక అంత ఫేమస్ కాదు, కొద్దిగా
సార్ మీకు కూడా 1.5 మిలియన్ ఫాలోవర్స్ ఉన్నారు ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ లో.
బట్ షీ ఈస్ అపారెంట్లీ ద నేషనల్ క్రష్, నాట్ మీ. సో
యా, బట్ మై పాయింట్ ఈస్ వీళ్ళందరికీ అంటే వాయిస్ ఉంది సార్. వాళ్ళు బయటకు వచ్చి చెప్తే వాళ్ళ గురించి ఒక డిస్కషన్ జరుగుతుంది, చర్చ జరుగుతుంది, వాళ్ళ గురించి మాట్లాడతారు, అండ్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆల్సో విల్ టేక్ యాక్షన్. వాట్ అబౌట్ దీస్ విమెన్, ద అదర్ విమెన్ హూ హ్యావ్ నో వాయిస్? అంటే మేమందరం ఒకవేళ సఫరర్స్, విక్టిమ్స్ అనుకోండి, ఏం చేయాలి? మేము ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి? ఎవరిని అప్రోచ్ అవ్వాలి? అసలు ఒక గ్రీవెన్స్ సెల్ ఉందా? మీరు ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో టిప్కో అని ఒకటి పెట్టారు, అదేంటంటే అది ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీకి సంబంధించి ఇంటెలెక్చువల్ ప్రాపర్టీ రైట్స్. అలాంటిది ఒకటి ఏమైనా పెట్టగలుగుతారా? ఒక గ్రీవెన్స్ సెల్ వేర్ ఇన్ విమెన్ కెన్ వాక్ ఈజీలీ వితౌట్ ఫియర్ అండ్ లాడ్జ్ అ కంప్లైంట్, సే దట్ దిస్ ఈజ్ మై ప్రాబ్లమ్. ఎందుకంటే జనరల్ పోలీస్ స్టేషన్స్కి వెళ్తే ఇవన్నీ సాల్వ్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్. ఎనీ సైబర్ క్రైమ్ పోలీస్ స్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళినా కూడా ఎవరు వినిపించుకోవట్లేదు, పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు. సో అందుకని
క్రైమ్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో చేంజింగ్ అండి. అంటే ఎర్లియర్ నేను మొన్న ఐ వాజ్ సిట్టింగ్ విత్ సమ్ టైమ్ ఎగో ఐ వాజ్ సిట్టింగ్ విత్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఆ పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్స్, స్టీఫెన్ రవీంద్ర గారు, సివి ఆనంద్ గారు, వీళ్ళందరితో ఒకసారి ఇక్కడ కూర్చొని మాట్లాడుతుంటే దే సెడ్ సంథింగ్ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్. దే సెడ్, సార్ ఒకప్పుడు కొన్ని సెక్షన్స్ ఉండేటి, డెకాయిటరీ, బందిపోటుతనం ఇట్లాంటివి, but now they've become redundant. Those sections have to be removed from the Indian Penal Code. And they said new age crime is also changing. Now most of the crime is cyber related. Ante telephone la dwara, social media dwara, WhatsApp dwara jarige crime perugutondi. Plus anonymity unfortunately is both good and bad. Sometimes we get good feedback in social media, but sometimes you start feeling like it is anti-social media. It's not social media. They are so toxic and so abusive sometimes. People, especially those who use bots, I'm talking about other opponent parties right now, వాళ్ళు కూడా బాగా మమ్మల్ని టార్గెట్ చేస్తుంటారు. బట్ I think women are subjected to more humiliation, more body shaming, more personalized, kind of very very uncouth attacks. అంటే చాలా అబ్యూజివ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో వల్గర్గా అబ్యూస్ చేసేది నేను కూడా చాలాసార్లు చూశాను. నేను because I follow a lot of women sports stars and other journalists and other people also. When you look at sometimes the way they respond when somebody body shames them or says something nasty about the way they've dressed, etc., you feel also insulted, like I said, at a basic human level. One of the things I'm doing, which I think has to be done ASAP, in Nalsar undi kada manaki Shamirpetlo, together we are drafting a cyber crime legislation. There is no other state in the country which has done this. So we are drafting a very strong cybercrime legislation wherein offenders can actually be put in a jail if they actually, outrage the modesty of a woman or a man on social media platforms. We are actually bringing that in. I know that will be subject to a lot of criticism also. No. But it will also be subject to a lot of criticism. I know there will be people who will say that freedom of expression ko aap khatam kar rahe, ye kar rahe, wo kar rahe. Freedom of expression is not a license to abuse. Freedom of expression hona chahiye, but there are lines in civil society that you don't cross. There are things that you don't say in your day-to-day life. Likewise in social media as well. You want to criticize me, please do. I am open to that. But if you start getting abusive, if you start stalking incessantly, sending outrageous messages in vulgar language, that is of course not acceptable. So we have to draw a line somewhere. Of course, self-regulation is important, but unfortunately in India that doesn't happen. So one of the things I am proposing to do is draft a strong legislation. The second thing I am proposing to do, రెండోది ఏమనుకుంటున్నానంటే, మనకి ఇవాళ 100 ఉంది, 104 ఉంది, 108 ఉంది, 3 toll-free numbers where somebody can call and basically ask for an ambulance or a fire service, or even GHMC, you have a toll-free line. You can just call them and tell them that these are the things that are required. I am proposing to set up one single toll-free number for all women-related issues. It could be abuse, it could be social media, it could be any other complaint. Maybe we can have just one single number, again, manned by the government officials in such a way that they can route. If, say, for example, if the complaint is related to child abuse or domestic violence, it can be routed to the relevant department. Likewise, if the complaint is related to some kind of an incentive on an industrial scheme, it can be routed to the industries department. If it is related to some technology or some social media abuse, it can be related to the cyber crime department. So atla relay chesetattu oka single entry point pettali ane alochana undi. It can be manned by, again, both men and women, hundreds of people who can assist, and we've mastered, EMRI has mastered that art of running a proper, very professional call center. So I'm sure that is something that can help, because anonymity will give you the confidence. అంటే నా పేరు చెప్పకుండా, నా అడ్రస్ చెప్పకుండా కంప్లైంట్ చెప్పగలుగుతాను, నా భర్త అబ్యూజివ్ కానీ, లేకపోతే నాకు ఫలానాది రాలేదు, నాకు ఫలానా స్కీమ్లో బెనిఫిట్ ఎట్లా వస్తుంది అనే ఒక క్వశ్చన్ కానీ, నా రైట్స్ ఏంటి, నా హక్కులు ఏంటి, యాజ్ అ యంగ్ ఉమెన్ ఆర్ అ సిటిజన్ నా హక్కులు ఏంటి, ఇది తెలుసుకోవడానికి I think one stop shop laga okati pedte, that will truly be helpful for all of us. What do you guys think?
Yes. Sir, actually ga Mumbai, Delhi ala కొన్ని ప్రాంతాల్లో 181 అని ఒక నంబర్ ఉంది. 181 is a number which again caters to such kind of things. అంటే women of any kind, అదే అబ్యూస్ అవ్వచ్చు, డొమెస్టిక్ వైలెన్స్ అవ్వచ్చు, దేనన్నా సరే వాళ్ళు అక్కడ ఆ నంబర్ కాల్ చేస్తే మీరు అన్నట్టు they will direct.
If it's already there,
181.
It is there, but it's again, it only offers limited services. I'm saying a one-stop kind of a thing.
Is a one-stop number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It covers all gamuts of life, including anything that you want to do on your own, education, or in general, what are my rights? That kind of a thing. Even for mental health, if you ask me, even mental health is a huge subject now. Danik kuda we ignore it conveniently. A lot of times, women go through, like for example, postpartum depression. People just take it very, very easily, but and there is not enough counseling that happens. These are all the things. I mean, even adolescent young women, they can't talk. They won't talk to others. They go through their own series of issues. The only people they kind of lean on to is their friends, peer group. So atla, what are all the things that we can cover? Then maybe come out with a solid solution. Again, if it has to be run by women, so be it, because you understand each other better. It can be done that way, or it can be a universal kind of thing where we can include everybody.
So before we close, KTR garu, two more questions. ఒకటి ఇప్పుడు అంటే ఇది చాలా జనరలైజ్ క్వశ్చన్. ఐ డోంట్ నో వెదర్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ కెన్ కమ్ అప్ విత్ అ పాలసీ ఆర్
I think we've basically been boring all of them. They're very seriously bored right now is what I think.
We will go to them before we go.
बहुत लोग यही सोच रहे सुबह उठ के क्यों आ गए यहाँ पे, इतना बोरिंग चल रहा है, बहुत सीरियस डिस्कशन चल रहा है, इससे अच्छा तो दूरदर्शन देख लेते, या दूरदर्शन देख रहे क्या आजकल.
So we will take the question from them. The final just two more questions. మన దగ్గర చాలా మంది హోమ్ మేకర్స్ light point.
But I need touch-ups now? I was told I need touch-ups now, but I don't think I do. Thanks. Hey, election season, man. Let me look rustic.
Okay. Sir, ఇప్పుడు చాలా మంది హోమ్ మేకర్స్ అండ్ కాలేజ్కి వెళ్ళే పిల్లలు, అలాగే ఇళ్లల్లో ఉండే ఓల్డ్ విమెన్, ఇలాంటి చాలా మందికి కొన్ని చిన్న చితక కన్సర్న్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అవేంటంటే లాస్ట్ మైల్ కనెక్టివిటీ అవ్వచ్చు, లేకపోతే సేఫ్టీ ఆన్ ద రోడ్స్ అవ్వచ్చు, లేకపోతే ఇవన్నీ కాకపోయినా కూడా ఇళ్లల్లో కూడా కొంతమంది హోమ్ మేకర్స్ వాళ్ళ హెల్త్, వాళ్ళ వెల్నెస్ గురించి వాళ్ళు కన్సర్న్ ఉంది వాళ్ళకి, కానీ ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి, ఎక్కడ చేసుకోవాలి, హౌ టు గో టు అ జిమ్, అంటే చాలా మందికి ఆ ధైర్యం ఉండదు టు గో టు అన్ ఓపెన్ జిమ్స్. సో ఇలాంటి విమెన్ కోసం సేఫర్ ప్లేసెస్, సెక్యూర్డ్ ప్లేసెస్, ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ద సెక్యూరిటీ, సర్వేలెన్స్, ఇదేమైనా పాసిబుల్ అవుతుందా?
No, I'll do one thing. Now that's a great idea. Can we do this? See, let's not make this an election thing.
Yeah.
I'm confident I'll win, don't worry. I'm coming back. Usme koi shak nahi hai. Because we've done good work, I'm winning back. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't think even opposition knows this, but they're generally acting smart. But having said that, I don't want to sound too boorish, but we can do one thing. If you guys agree, let's set a date. Let's set a date in December, prior to 15th. In between 3rd and 15th, you pick a date. Let me know. Bring in some ideas. Brainstorm. Bring in some ideas. I will make a women manifesto for the next 5 years of my life.
Wow! Amazing!
No, I will make this. Yes. I promise you this. There are a number of things that can be done. Like you said, you're absolutely right. Gated community lo unte oka gym untundi, akkada you have a secure feeling, so you go. What about outside of gated communities, in colonies, in bastis, in slums? My corporator from Sitafal Mandi is here. This young lady needs introduction. Her name is Samala Hema. She used to be a Google employee. She's now a PhD. Ammai PhD would chesindi monane. She used to work for Google. Ee ammai, she came in on her own and she is now our corporator from Sitafal Mandi. A young woman who you should certainly watch out for. She has a lot of promising future. Ante itlanti ammayilu politics lo kuda ravali. Can't just be about just being entrepreneurs and other things. It also is about participation in political system as well. Of course, I'll get some criticism on that. I know. Dan gurinchi kuda maatladtanu. Kani, what I'm promising you is between 3rd December, when we win the election, and 15th, because I need a break also. Madhyalo, let's pick a date. And you guys, in the meantime, brainstorm a bit. Come out with an agenda for the road ahead for next 5 years. Women gyms pettali, women university okatundi, inka education ni, health ni etla center stage ki teeskoni ravali. Better pedestrianization models because last mile connectivity in Hyderabad is a challenge. ఇప్పుడు metro 70 kilometers undi. Kani I want to ensure it becomes 400 kilometers in next 10 years. Kani the big challenge with metro is after you get down, going home or going to office, is it safe? If I have to go back at 11 o'clock in the night, is it safe? This is a question that bothers a lot of us. I mean, if you ask me, would you send your wife and child in a metro and make sure that they walk back all the way? Ante evado vachi kottakonda mee footpath meeda kuda bandekkichi mimmalni dee kottakonda intiki pogaltara. So these are the basic things that need to be sorted out. One of the things I'm doing is promoting skywalks. Matlab agar aap dekhenge aaj mind space lo digangane you can walk directly into the entire IT park. It's a 100-acre park. You don't have to get down onto the road at all. You can walk straight into your office. So that is the kind of concept I'm promoting across Hyderabad. I want to do a TOD kind of development, ante transit oriented development, where metro station chuttuta you can have offices, you can shop while you're on your way back home, you can shop for groceries, shop for whatever you want, basics, pharmacy, etc. Pick those things and walk straight to your home. And last mile connectivity, my dream is also to have hop on hop off shuttles, meaning electric buses petti meeru station lo digangane oka 3-4 kilometer radius lo free service. Going home should be easy. You should not again feel that నేను మళ్ళీ అక్కడ దిగి నడుచుకుంటా పోవాలి అంటే మధ్యలో ఒక 3-4 వెధవలు ఉంటారు. ఇట్లాంటి నాన్సెన్స్ ఉండకూడదు అంటే you should feel safe. You should have these vehicles which are basically again fully equipped with security cameras and installations, where if somebody does something nonsense and nuisance, it should be immediately reported and action should be taken. So na proposal, na suggestion entante December 1st to 2nd week, you guys give me the manifesto, you guys tell me these are all the things. Of course I'm not going to agree.
Are you all ready?
No, hold on. I'm not going to agree to everything because because aate ke hisab se roti sekna padta, to pindi koddi rotte, so అందులో కొన్ని చేయొచ్చు, కొన్ని మెల్లి చేయాలి. కాబట్టి we need to figure out what can be done in the short term, medium term, long term, and how can we draw out a map and communicate to the rest of the country that this is something we are doing, and rest of India can follow.
Fine, KTR garu. Now
no, that's a bad hashtag. I'll get trolled.
Okay, no, so now we'll take questions from audience. Manu oka 15 to 20 questions తీసుకుందాం KTR garu.
More than 15-20 questions.
We also have my friend. She has a company in here. She's going to talk once I'm done. So any kind of digital security and digital well-being, I would like to connect